G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So it's been a little while since I've posted anything, and to be completely honest, I lost interest in the PvP. It just seemed that all the meta was um, anything XL meant you won. If you didn't have XL, you lost. So lost a little bit of interest, but we've got a new season, and I jumped in and I'm actually managed to win my first 5 matches, which means I'm probably going to lose the next 5. Seems to be the way way it goes. But if you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, we'll jump into some matches and see how we go. So from the first 5, it was more meta teams than I was expecting. So we'll see what we get for this second 5, and let's jump in and see how we go. So I've got the Johto Cup here, so I'm going to jump into that, and I'm going to run Lantern with Spark, Thunderbolt, and Hydro Pump, Skarmory with Air Slash, Sky Attack, and Brave Bird, and Meganium with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Earthquake. So there's a few really bad matchups, so Fire in the back doesn't work great for me. Obviously, both Meganium and Skarmory are weak to fire, but Meganium does have access to Earthquake, which can be super effective. And also, Meganium does not like to see Skarmory, so if we get that matched, not good. So we've got a first match here, and we'll see how we go. So obviously, Lantern on the lead, and it's a mirror. So I really don't like these, and so what I'm going to try and do here is sneak through an extra Spark, and let's see if we can do it. So it looks like I started slightly ahead of them, and we'll see how we go. So here, I'm at my Thunderbolt, and I managed to sneak one through. So I think I've got an extra Thunderbolt, well, extra bit of spark damage, so which means I should get to my next Thunderbolt better. I tried to avoid them getting the extra spark through themselves, and I think I managed to do that. So I should be 1 spark ahead, which is really nice for me, and they let that go as well, which is fine. So let's see what happens here. So I should be able to get this one before them. And I'm not. We CMP tied, and yeah, they won CMP, which is not ideal. So Thunderbolt comes through fine, and I'm going to throw mine before they're able to get another spark through. So we'll see how that goes, and they do shield that up, and that's absolutely fine. So here the question is what to do. So they're going to beat me in CMP here. Yep. And they do exactly that. So the question here is, do I let it go or do I use my second shield? And I'm actually going to let this go. I'm going to come in with the Meganium here and look to farm down. And they aggressively swap into their Umbreon here, so I'm just going to swap out because obviously I don't want my Skarmory up against their Lantern, even though it is well, it's got no health, but even so, I do not want them to be sparking me down. It's going to be super effective, and it's not going to be a good time for me. So here I've got to be thinking, what have they got in the back? Have they got anything in the back that's going to handle Meganium? Really hoping that they don't have their own Skarmory in the back. It is a fairly meta team, so we'll see how we go here. So going to be throwing the Sky Attack here. Going to be faking the Brave Bird, and I get the shield. So that's their last shield, and let's see if I can get to this Brave Bird before they're able to get to a move. So I'm not quite able, but I do think I'll survive this. So I'm going to no-shield it and then throw the Brave Bird, and 1 HP. They get their charge move through, but I was able to throw my charge move first, which is absolutely perfect, and then going to be able to do a huge amount of damage with that. And I'm actually going to swap and save up my move on the Skarmory and see what, well, hopefully I can make a sack swap later on if required, but we'll see how they go. So foul play comes through, and that's fine, and then I'm going to have to look to farm this all the way down. Really hope they don't get to another charge move, which they don't, and we'll see what they have in the back. Oh, so they've got an Azumarill. So what I don't want to happen here is for them to be able to sack swap their Lantern, so I'm just going to go straight for the Frenzy Plant here, try and wait for it in between charge moves. So as it's throwing a fast move, I'm going to throw the Frenzy Plant. A bit slow on that one, but they're not swapping out. I was really expecting at least an attempted sack swap, but just going to go straight for Frenzy Plant before they get to their Ice Beam, and then out comes the Lantern, and I'm going to be able to throw another Frenzy Plant here. So really not a good bat. So making that aggressive swap was really bad for them. They should have just left it in, let me farm it down, and then came in. At least then they would have been able to match the Azumarill up against the Skarmory, but instead I was able to get the Skarmory matched against the Umbreon. So a bit of a misplay on theirs. Obviously a meta team there, but they just made a poor judgment. They didn't want me to farm down the Lantern, which is fair enough, but when they've got something weak to Meganium in the back, they really need to keep that locked in. Worked out for me because obviously I got the win from it. So Lantern into Scizor. So Scizor's a bit of a annoying matchup, really. It's absolutely made of glass, and this one looks like it's running Bullet Punch, so he's not going to do too much damage, which is absolutely outstanding. But let's see what its fast move is. I'm expecting Night Slash to come through, which it does, and we'll see if they get the boost. They didn't get the boost, so happy days, and that's shiny. You might just be able to tell it's shiny. It's kind of a little bit different, I guess, but we'll see how we go. So another Night Slash coming through. Do they get the boost? It doesn't look like they've got the boost, but we'll jump straight in and we'll see what they want to do here. So I'm going to throw straight into the Thunderbolt, and they let it go. Okay, fine. Out comes an Azumarill. What have they got in the back that they do not want to meet this Lantern? So here I'm a little bit worried that they may have a Skarmory in the back, because if they bring a Lantern out into a Azumarill out into a Lantern, what on earth are they running? So I'm actually going to let this go. The Ice Beam may actually not KO, so it doesn't, it just does no damage whatsoever, and I'm going to get to another Thunderbolt, so I'm actually able to get to another Thunderbolt, so they're going to have to shield something up eventually, and I assume this is going to be it, so that's absolutely fine. The shield comes through, that's good for me, and see what they want to do. So they're going to look to farm this all the way down, which is fine. Here, the question is, what do I come out with? So I'm going to come out with my Meganium, because like I said, I think they may have a Skarmory in the back. I'm going to use one shield here, just to stop the Ice Beam damage. So I'm going to shield that up, and then I'm going to farm this down. So I'll get a little bit of a head start. If they've got a Skarmory in the back, which they don't, they've got a Kingdra, so that's brutal. This is GG's right here, and the reason I wanted to bring that out is because I get a little bit of chip damage with the Frenzy Plants, and then they're able to swap into my Skarmory to match theirs, but looks like they've got a Kingdra in the back, so very, very good shield on the Ice Beam. To be honest, I probably would have come in with Kingdra rather than coming in with Azumarill in that matchup, and I've registered the battle, whatever this is. To be honest, I don't think that's the answer to get people back into PvP, some minuscule amount of Stardust, but I guess it's better than nothing, and people like to complete achievements, so potentially it will draw a few people back in. But I'll claim that, and we'll jump into the next one. Got a few more battles to win before my next one, and they do get significantly harder. Well, not harder, just get more battles required to win. So Entei on the lead. So good lead, because obviously I don't want to see this against my backline. So I'm going to have to be careful of the swap out here and see what they swap into. So they've swapped into the Celebi. This is another popular one in the Johto Cup. This one is running, I don't even know what fast move that is, but it's probably not what you want. I'm not going to shield this up because I'm expecting I was not expecting that to come through. It drops the attack significantly and doesn't do too much damage to me. So what I'm going to do here is just farm all the way down. They're going to get another one off, another Leaf Storm, was it? But now it's been severely debuffed, and it's going to be, double resisted, and they're just not doing any damage there. So what I'm going to do here is throw the Sky Attack straight away, fully expecting the Entei to come back out, which it has, and throw the Sky Attack here, and see if I can grab a shield. I can do so. So now I'm going to actually charge up just one. Probably should have just thrown straight for the Brave Bird, and we'll see what they want to do. So let's see if they want to shield this up, and they do. So 2 shields, and now I'm going to aggressively swap, which is a questionable play here. and try and get this Hydro Cannon off. Unfortunately, they're able to get to their move before me. And I assume it's going to be, oh, it's a Flame Charge, which probably means they're not going to switch out. But we did CMP tie here, so happy days. We will throw this Hydro Pump, and that's going to KO from any range there. And they've got their own Lantern, which is absolutely perfect for me. So what I'm going to do here is let them... No, so they've decided to leave that game. So I was not going to shield that up, and then I'll come in with the... so let my own Lantern go, throw one charge move and do half of the damage, and then let them throw a charge move, not shield it up, and then swap into my my own... well, my Meganium to counter their Lantern, because Lantern can do absolutely nothing against Meganium. So we'll jump into this next one and see what we get. So Umbreon on the lead. So, I mean, I just don't like Umbreon, but it's not running ideal movesets. So if you look there, it's probably not going to be able to outpace me as much as it could have. Not going to be as spammy with those charge attacks. I'm going to let this one go and see what comes through. If it's not running, yeah, it is running Foul Play, so that's fine. And then going to look to charge up to the Hydro Cannon and throw the Thunderbolt. Hopefully I can grab a shield here. Unlikely. People don't normally shield up Umbreon, which is fine. So they didn't shield that one up, which the question is, are they going to shield the second one? If I can get it off before they do, probably. So I probably should have thrown a Thunderbolt here, but I mean, it's always the way. They'll always shield when you don't want them to. Shield when you don't want them to, and not shield when you do. So they managed to shield up the Hydro, which is not ideal for me. And I'm actually just going to let the Foul Play come through. It's not enough to take me out, but unfortunately it is going to get some farm here. So able to farm me down. I've still got 2 shields, which is really nice. And what I'll do here is bring out the Meganium and see what they want to counter that with. Meganium with energy is really, really strong. And I'm not actually going to shield this first one up, because if they make an aggressive swap here, I don't necessarily want full health on this thing, so I'm just going to over farm by a little bit, throw the charge move and see what comes out. Really hoping that they don't have a Skarmory counter in the a Skarmory in the back, and they don't. So it looks like they've got the another Celebi. Throwing the Earthquake here, which is the wrong move. Should definitely be throwing the Frenzy Plant here, because it's going to resist this anyway. As you can see, it still does do a chunk of damage, and what I want to do here is charge up to a Frenzy Plant, because if they're coming out, and I'm going to shield this up, if they're coming out with Celebi to match this, they potentially have something weak to Meganium in the back, because Celebi's really not a good answer for it. So I'm going to charge up to the Earthquake and see what they want to do here. So let's see. So they're not swapping out instantly. I'm going to let this go, fully expecting it to be another Psychic, which it is, and that's not going to do anything to the Skarmory. Then still not swapping out, so that's interesting. What on earth do they have in the back? In the back, they have Crobat. Yeah, so that was a huge misplay by them. They should have just come out with Crobat v the Meganium, and then they would have, yeah, that's pretty much good game right there. But then I guess the Celebi didn't really have any play against anything, so I'm going to shield this up. Probably going to be the Poison Jab, is it? Poison Sting? No, it's an Air Cutter, but I'm at a Brave Bird, so it's going to let me KO this Crobat. And as you can see, so down in the low leagues, low levels and early in the league, I guess you're going to run into people who aren't making the best plays, myself included. There's a few times when I could have made better play in that match. I should have been throwing Frenzy Plant and not Earthquake on the Celebi, but I mean, it is what it is. So early days and people aren't fully running their teams as efficiently as they possibly could, so looking good. So we've got another Scizor on the lead and another very, very green Scizor, so very nice and shiny. And this one's running going to be running, is it Fury Cutter that it's running? And we'll see what comes out. X Scissor comes through instead of the Night Slash. So again, a bit of a different variation, but I guess it's probably to counter some of those Charmers and some of the dark. So some of the Umbreons, basically, when I say dark, it's all Umbreon. So this is probably a really good Umbreon counter. So they're going to shield that first one up, which is alright. So I'm fine with that. Spark goes through, shield it up. I'm going to actually match their shield now, and we'll see what they want to do. So X Scissor comes through, going to be enough to get that shield from me, and then I'm going to get straight to this Thunderbolt because I don't want them getting to another charge move before I've got a chance to throw mine. And we'll see if they want to double shield this Scizor. Interesting if they do decide to, and they do. They double shield it. What have they got? They do not want to see this Lantern in the back, so that raises the question: should I shield this or should I not? So I think at this point I'm going to shield it, which is questionable because they probably will get to another X Scissor before I can, and they make an aggressive swap into Raikou, trying to catch that move, but unfortunately for them, I'm able to anticipate that, come out with the Meganium. Let's hope it throws, no, throwing a Thunderbolt, fine by me. I'm going to look to overcharge here because I don't know what they have in the back, so I'm going to overfarm just a little bit. I don't want them to throw another Thunderbolt though, so I'm going to not get too greedy, throw the Frenzy Plant, and obviously no shields. So that goes down. Let's see what they've got in the back. So expecting the... Oh, so I was expecting the Scizor to come back out. It did not. They come out with an Entei, and because I've got energy charge, so that little bit of extra energy that I overfarmed on the Entei allowed me to get to the Earthquake and absolutely one-shot that Entei. So that's absolutely spectacular. They're going to throw a charge move straight away, so they're not messing about, and they're going to be in for a bad time when they see that I've got a Skarmory. So they're not even actually going to get it. They've got the energy saved on the Lantern, so come out and instantly throw the Thunderbolt. That's going to take it out, and they don't even get to see that Skarmory. So happy days, able to take that match. So really, their swap was worth a try. If they had have caught the Thunderbolt and I didn't have the same matchups, then possibly that would have gone a little bit differently, but thankfully for me, I was able to go 5-0. So 10 matches in this season and managed to win all 10. Got the Meditite as a reward. So excellent throws. Now, what you want to do is get that circle nice and small and wait for the attack and throw during the attack like that to hit the excellent, not like the first one. So the first one, got impatient, threw, it attacked, knocked the ball away. Doesn't matter in this instance, but for raid bosses and for shadow Pokemon, you've got limited number of balls to throw at it, so best to wait for that attack and throw during the animation. Able to catch it, no XL candy, which is a bit annoying, and that's my first 10 battles done in the new season. So, I'm pretty happy with that. I've made a few mistakes, but so's my opponents. Been running up against fairly meta Pokemon, to be honest. So very meta Pokemon, some questionable move sets and some slightly different move sets in the Johto Cup, and that's just because of what you're going to be up against. So those Scizor running the bug type moves are going to be really good against Umbreon, and Umbreon, as you saw, is everywhere. So got to pick your move sets as to what you think you're going to run against, but that's it. First 10 battles done. Hopefully that was useful. Like I said, if that was of interest to you, liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button, and I'll look to try and post a few more videos. But that's it for me for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.